Aloha friends! We are back at Seattle Children's Hospital. This is our first admission of 2020. Yay!
You guys been to the new river unit?
Hi, Arden.
Put this all a little bit better so I can we're gonna be going around lots of corners.
Nice.
Four-wheel drive now.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think.
What do you see, Arden? Construction! You ready? You ready? Dance! He's so cute. Hey, Arden. Not for Arden. Arden started showing signs of having trouble just working harder to breathe on Monday. Let's see, that was the 29th? No, the 30th, Monday the 30th. And we ended up monitoring him, and I was doing suction, and then on Tuesday, which was New Year's Eve, he was still doing okay, but the next day he was just working a lot harder to breathe. So yesterday, New Year's Day, the first of the year, we ended up bringing him to the ED here at Seattle Children's, and they did some deep suctioning and kind of checked him out. They also did a viral swab and told us that it was positive for Rhinovirus and for RSV, which he had in March of last year when he was just 3 months old, and that kind of started our whole huge, crazy 8 months of hospitalizations with respiratory issues. And so I just kind of died inside when they said RSV. But he's older now, he's bigger now, so he was doing well, so we got discharged. But then last night at like 11 p.m., it was 2 hours after I'd last suctioned him, and he was working hard to breathe, and he was also desatting. His oxygen levels were going down, and so I talked to the on-call pulmonologist, and they said suction him again and raise his oxygen. Right now he sleeps on half a liter of oxygen all the time because they found out he has obstructive sleep apnea, and so that half a liter of oxygen cuts the average times he stops breathing from 19 times an hour to 9 times an hour with the oxygen. And so she said, just this one time, just tonight, you can raise his oxygen to 0.75 liters and suction him every couple hours. And so I did that, and then at 3 a.m., I had just suctioned him. He was at 0.75 liters, and he was still desatting. His oxygen percentage was going down to 84, and which is like not deathly he's gonna die, but it's not good either. Like, he needs to be in a hospital and be monitored. And so I called again. She said, just tonight, just this one time, try and make it through the night. You can turn him up to a whole liter of oxygen. He could go as low as 89, but if he hits 88, you need to bring him in. And unfortunately, by 4:30, he was hitting 88 several times. So we called Eric's mom to come and stay at the house for the big kids. And Eric and I packed up to bring Arden back to the ED. They ran a few things. They did a chest x-ray, they drew some blood. We finally got up to our room. It's been kind of fun. It's been like a little fun but weird, sad reunion. That it's like all of our doctors and our nurses are people that we've had before that know Arden. Like our nurse right now was his very first day nurse from his very first admission when he was teeny tiny, and everyone's excited at how much hair he has now and how big he is. But also, it's hard and sad. So Arden is sleeping right now. Finally, he's had a whole bunch of like 5-minute naps, but not a real nap today. So I am going to head to the cafeteria to finally get some food. Let me see Arden. I'm hanging out in the bathroom to say goodnight because I don't want to wake Arden up. But yeah, Eric got here with the frozen breast milk and the other few things that I needed. And he is holding Arden, who only wants to sleep being held. Arden woke up while I was getting... I'm so tired, you guys. Arden woke up while I was getting dinner, and so was really just upset when I got here, but thankfully the nurse was in here with him, and Nadine is wonderful. And then Eric showed up, and so he has been holding Arden so I can eat and pump and get ready for bed, and Arden's sleeping on his lap right now. It's only 5 p.m., but like I said earlier, I've had like 4.5 hours of sleep in the past 3 nights total, so it's catching up with me now, and I'm falling asleep on my feet. So I'm gonna try and go get some rest and hope that Arden does well through the night. Good night. Well, I got 2 hours of sleep, and then my body decided that that was all the sleep I needed because it's far more than I was getting each night. So got up and pumped, and we gave Arden a really good suctioning. Well, the nurse did. We were there for it. And hopefully he is going to do better. He's definitely working harder breathing than he has since we brought him in, but we expected that, and that's why we're staying tonight. And I pumped and had a snack, and I'm gonna try sleeping again. And there's Eric being the amazing daddy that he is while watching TikTok videos. It's day 2 in the hospital, January 3rd, Friday, and I have something crazy to tell you. That's also really good news. Here's my boy. Anyway, here we were thinking that, sorry. Hang on. So here we are thinking that Arden has rhinovirus and RSV, and kind of trying to figure out the timeline and just preparing for him to get really bad, like really bad on day 3 to 5 of the RSV. And then we're talking with the team of doctors doing rounds, and they're like, he doesn't have RSV, he just has rhinovirus. What? No, they told us in the ED. And they told us on the 1st, when we just went to the ED for suctioning and got discharged, and then again on the 2nd, when we got admitted, he has RSV. So the doctor brought the computer over to me and pulled up the spreadsheet where they view the results of tests. And he does not have RSV. It turns out that on the spreadsheet, so the columns are the dates, and then the rows are the test. And so the one row said respiratory viral something, and then right below it was rhinovirus. And the column for the date said positive for both of those. So I guess the ED saw respiratory viral, whatever it was, and just in their mind thought that that was RSV, which has respiratory and virus in it. But actually at the bottom of those rows, those specific rows, is respiratory something virus, which is RSV. And there was nothing in that row for that column date. So he did not test positive for RSV. They just misread it. The respiratory viral row that said positive was just the name of that specific swab or that specific test that they run. And that test checks for rhinovirus, flu A and B, and RSV. So the test had a positive, and rhinovirus was the positive, but RSV was not. So that's actually really, really good news to hear that he doesn't have RSV, but it took me several hours and some sleep to be able to process that and realize that he is going to be doing a lot better than we were expecting. So that's really great. It's not that I didn't want that to be the answer. It's just that when you get told that your medical baby with respiratory issues has a really, really rough, dangerous respiratory illness, and you prepare yourself for that, it's then hard to, I guess, believe that they don't have it and just get to the point of being able to see their symptoms in the context they are, rather than thinking, but it's just going to get worse because he has RSV. Whereas before I'm looking and waiting for the big sharp downward trend to try and catch it, because in the past with RSV or parainfluenza, he'd suddenly have just this huge decline and be sitting at 70%, and so I was just watching to try and catch that before it got that bad. And now I feel like I can kind of relax and not be so afraid of that. So that's really encouraging. And, he's definitely still working hard. He's nowhere near his healthy baseline. We have to get to the point where he doesn't need deep suction and where he doesn't need more than half a liter of oxygen like we normally do at home. And also I think it'd be good to have him not need oxygen awake. He's definitely had, when he gets relaxed and calm, he dips quite a bit when he's awake. He's so cute sleeping. I just love him. And sorry again about all the noise in the video. That's just the construction outside. And I have to show you, we've got Captain America working outside. I love that. Eric also said one of the guys, oh, Eric also said one of the guys is Pikachu. So I love that they do that. I'm sure the older kids staying here get a really big kick out of it. Well, it's almost 4:30 p.m. and I have literally pumped once today while Eric was still here. Poor Arden is just really not feeling good. Like I think his ability to keep his oxygen levels up while he's asleep and on oxygen is better, but I think today's the day he's just feeling the worst. So he's needing lots of snuggles, and I'm hoping that once I get him to sleep this time around, he'll transfer and I can get another pump in, because it's just hard. It's hard for my body to not get to pump, and it also then lowers my supply when I don't pump as often and you need it. Yeah. Say hi. Sleepy boy. Okay, Arden's sleeping, and I actually got to eat and pump, and now I'm gonna try and get some work done. But I wanted to tell you something really quick that I've discovered. When you are staying in the hospital, your hands get so dry because you literally hand sanitize or wash your hands every time you go in and out of any room. And then you're also just having to wash a lot. So my hands get so dry, and I really want to work on the computer. So what I do is I've got this lotion from, which is backwards because I'm using my phone, maybe I can flip it, but anyways, it's Medline Remedy Phytoplex, and the nurses actually have this that they can give us, which is so nice. And so I coat my hands up with that, and then, because I don't want to get that all over my computer, and I don't want it to rub off, then I put on some gloves, some medical gloves. And like, I don't think Eric, my husband, would be able to do this because he's got a thing with sticky and greasy, and it just makes him feel super claustrophobic. But for me, I love it, and you get some some fun squishy noises too. But anyways, now I can work and moisturize my hands at the same time. I wonder if this will let me turn my phone off. Well, it's almost 11 p.m. This is our second night here, and Arden is doing quite a bit worse than I was expecting, actually. I think because we found out he didn't have RSV, I thought, oh yeah, we're just gonna need one night of deep suctioning and then he'll be great and we'll go home. But I guess this cold is kicking his butt. And so he's actually been needing suctioning every 2 hours, and he's working the hardest he's had this whole time, this whole illness. So it's a little discouraging. He's definitely feeling bad, so he's wanting to be held the whole time, even when he's sleeping. But I'm gonna try and get a little bit of sleep. He seems to be maybe doing a little bit better, even if I can just get like 30 minutes at a time over several hours. That's better than nothing. So I don't think we're going home tomorrow, which is a bummer, but that's our life right now, and just learn to kind of take it one day at a time. And that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna stop talking because I'm too tired to know what else to say. Good morning, friends. Say good morning. It is January 4th, day 3 here at Seattle Children's, and I got 3 hours and 55 minutes of sleep. That is so much for having a sick baby and being in the hospital, right? He was like, "What are you doing, Ma?" "Oh, your poor ear." You're standing on your oxygen. Yeah, be right back. Oh, hi. I'm pulling your ear still. Okay, ready? Ow, my hair, ow! Say hi. Look. Ah, trouble. Oh, bonk. Okay, once I can get this guy feeling better and put him down, I'm gonna get ready. Because Bubba and Lala are coming today. They're gonna come visit, and unfortunately they can't come in the room since we're in isolation. No one under 10 from the home is allowed in because they don't want them to get it either. Oh yeah, I love you. But they are gonna have a wonderful date with me today. Honey, Mama's right here. Oh, did you get your oxygen up? There you go. I know. Not funny, right?
Good call. Oh, I'm surprised at what I ordered.
Yay! Bye-bye, Lala! Starbucks! Yes!
With 2 tails. How does it taste, Corbin? Wait.
Are you licking a knife?
What a creamy cheese. Good for eating.
Is it delish?
Talking about the rainbow in the sky.
I love you. Hi. Oh. Where's your feeding tube? Huh? Oh, everything in the mouth. Oh, you want Mama to do it? Hello. 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 Mwah. Peekaboo. Oh, I love you. Oh, you're getting tired. I don't hear screaming.
Kid, NG. I don't think she pulls at it.
Woohoo! It is day 4, January 5th, and we are going home today. What's that? All right, Corbin and Larkin, where are we going? Arden, look where we are. Where are we? Are we home? We'll go inside. Did we come home? Yay! Yay! Oh, open the door. Yay! Oh, it's so good to be home. You guys, this is supposed to finish with a yay, we're home, he's better, everything is great. And then this happened. Yeah. Oh, yucky. Yeah, don't eat that. Yucky. You're feeling bad. So, Eric apparently got flu B the day that we brought Arden home from the hospital. So of course then the next day Arden came down with it, and you know, immediately as soon as he was showing symptoms with a fever, because he did not have a fever with the rhinovirus, brought him in, got him swabbed, flu B. So he's on Tamiflu, which seems to be helping, but I'm not getting sleep. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. So I don't know that I'll be vlogging this illness because I'm just taking care of all the vomiting and fevering and everything else. But I will see you guys in our next video.